In this video, we are going to see the chemistry laboratory experiment determination of total, permanent and temporary hardness of water sample by EDTA method. First, we are going to see the aim of this experiment to determine the amount of total, permanent and temporary hardness of the given sample of hard water by EDTA method. So, you are provided with a standard hard water of known hardness and linked solution of EDTA, which is ethylene diamine tetraestic acid. This is the aim of this experiment. So from this we are going to determine the amount of total, permanent and temporary hardness of the given water sample. Next we move to the principle. This experiment is a complexometric method, which means we are going to measure the amount of hardness present in the unknown water sample by making the hardness causing salt complexed with EDTA. So we are going to make the hardness causing salt complexed with EDTA, so it is called as complexometric method. Here EDTA is a complexing agent, which the EDTA forms a stable and colorless complex with the hardness causing metal ions like calcium 2+ and magnesium 2+. So these are the two metal ions which are responsible for the hardness of water. So we are going to make the complex of calcium and magnesium with EDTA so that we can able to determine the amount of hardness from this water. So it is the structure of EDTA. This is the structure of EDTA. This is nothing but ethylene diamine tetraestic acid. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mono, di, tri and tetra. So it is called as ethylene diamine tetraestic acid. So usually EDTA insoluble in water. So we are using disodium salt of EDTA to make the complex with the hardness causing salt. And we are using Eriochrome black tea as an indicator to detect the endpoint of this experiment. So initially, while adding EBT to the hardness causing water and the salts, which forms a weak complex, wine red colored complex. Initially, this colored solution only appears in the conical flask, which states that the hardness producing calcium and magnesium ions forms a weak complex with the EBT. And after that, if we are adding the EDTA to the wine red colored solution, the metal ions calcium 2+ and magnesium 2+ forms a stable metal complex with EDTA, so that the EBT indicator gets free from the solution. Once it entirely gets freed means it will exhibit its own color, steel blue color. Now the endpoint appears as the color change from wine red to steel blue color. It states the completion of the reaction. If the complex to be happened means the pH of the solution must be at 10, 8 to 10. So to maintain this pH, we are going to add a basic buffer, which is a mixture of ammonium chloride and ammonium hydroxide. So this is the buffer solution we are going to add to the water sample, so that we are going to maintain the pH 8 to 10. Then at this pH only the complex will made. So the end point is from wine red to steel blue. This is the principle behind this experiment. So with this knowledge only we are going to see the laboratory demonstration session. See, this is the reaction happened in the titration. So this is the calcium and the magnesium 2+ hardness causing ions, which comes from hard water. Initially we add EBT, it is an indicator. To maintain the pH, we add a buffer solution. So at this pH, the EBT are made complex with the calcium and the magnesium ions. It is a less stable complex. The color of the complex is wine red color. Initially, this complex only happened in conical flask. After that, if we are going to titrate this wine red colored solution with the EDTA, what we have taken in the burette. If we titrate this EDTA with the EBT, usually the EDTA made a strong, stable complex, and the color of the complex is actually colorless, so it does not show any color. So if all the EBT gets free from the complex means it will exhibit its own color, steel blue. So which represents the calcium and the magnesium hardness causing ions complex with EBT entirely get complex with EDTA. So there is no hardness causing ions in the solution. So the indicator gets free. It will exhibit its own color, steel blue color, which represents the completion of the reaction. This is the reaction mechanism of the hardness. Apparatus we required to do this experiment is, first one is burette. Here the burette is imagined, picture of burette, which we can able to measure 50 ml of the solution in that. And next we need a pipette, 20 ml of pipette. Here I mentioned the pipette. We can able to pipette out 20 ml of the solution, and we need conical flask, and this is the conical flask. From this only we are going to take the pipette out solution to this conical flask, and we need dropper. To add indicator we need dropper. Okay. And funnel, fifth one, to add the solution into the conical flask we need funnel. White colored tile. To identify the endpoint clearly, we are placing this white colored tile in the burette stand. Here it has to be placed. Then only we can able to see the color change. And we need burette stand. The burette need to be fixed, and wash bottle to wash all the above equipments, apparatus. So this is the measuring cylinder. By this only we are going to add buffer solution, and we need beaker to boil the water sample. These are the apparatus required to done this experiment. And chemicals we required are EDTA solution, which is the burette solution, and we need standard hard water. By the standard hard water only we are going to analyze the strength of the EDTA solution. And we need a sample hard water. From this water only we are going to determine the amount of hardness. And we need indicator to indicate the endpoint of the reaction. And we need buffer solution to maintain the pH. Then only the complexation will occur. And we need distilled water to rinse and wash the glass vessels, glasswares. Okay. So we will see the video demonstration further. Now we are going to see the titration 1, the standardization of EDTA. Here I am explaining the working procedure. First we need to fill 50 ml of EDTA solution to the burette. Before filling, the burette must be washed with water and rinsed with a small amount of EDTA solution. We already done that. So we directly fill the 50 ml of EDTA solution to the burette. So we already washed and rinsed with EDTA solution. So fix the burette in the burette stand and keep the EDTA solution safely. And then we need to pipette out 20 ml of prepared standard hard water to a clean conical flask. Before pipetting out, the pipette must be washed with water and rinsed with a small amount of standard hard water. We already done that. So we directly pipetting out 20 ml of standard hard water into the conical flask. And this experiment having additional solution, we need to add ammonia buffer to the standard hard water. Why? Because we are adding a buffer solution. EBT indicator we are going to add in the standard hard water. So the hardness causing ions, calcium and magnesium ions, are going to complex with the EBT. So this complexation occurs only at the pH of 9 to 10. So we need to raise the pH of hard water sample. So we are adding 7 drops of buffer solution to the conical flask. Now the solution attains the pH of 9 to 10. And then we need to add few drops of EBT indicator, which results wine red color. The wine red color explains as the calcium and the magnesium ions complexed with the EBT. Okay. The solution becomes wine red color. We are going to titrate the solution against EDTA. Start the titration. We have to add dropwise of EDTA to the conical flask. The endpoint of this reaction is the color change from wine red to steel blue color. Now the color changed to steel blue. So this endpoint represents all the hardness causing ions complexed with the EDTA. Now the EBT indicator get free, so it exhibits the color steel blue of its own color. Okay. Now we are going to progress the titration 2. From the endpoint we attained from the burette, we can able to find the strength of the given EDTA solution. Now we are going to start the second titration titled determination of total hardness of water sample. So we already measured 50 ml of EDTA solution to the burette. So we are going to pipette out 20 ml of hard water sample into the conical flask. Before that we have to wash the pipette and we have to rinse with a small amount of hard water sample. So we already done that. So we directly pipetting out 20 ml to the conical flask. So we measured 20 ml of hard water sample. Pour the sample to the conical flask. And as like titration 1, we need to add the buffer solution. Then only the complexation will occur. So we need to add 8 ml of buffer solution to the conical flask. And then we have to add few drops of EBT indicator. Now the burette solution is called as standard EDTA solution because from the endpoint of titration 1, we standardized the EDTA solution so that in the second titration, we have to call the EDTA as standard EDTA solution. From that standard EDTA solution, we are going to measure the strength of the unknown hard water sample. So we have to follow the same procedure to carry out this titration 2. We are adding the indicator. So the color of the water sample becomes wine red color, which states as like the titration 1, the hardness causing ions complexed with the indicator EBT. It is a weak complex. So if we titrate the solution against EDTA, it will forms a stable complex of calcium magnesium ions complexed with the EDTA, which results the indicator gets free. It will exhibit its own color, steel blue color. Now the color change occurred. We got steel blue color. This result indicates that the hardness causing ions complexed with the EDTA. Now we have to measure the endpoint from the burette. The amount of EDTA consumed has to be taken as endpoint of the titration 1. From this endpoint we can calculate the total hardness present in the hard water sample. and we can see how the strength can be calculated using calculation. Now we move over to the titration 3, determination of permanent hardness from the water sample. Here I am going to explain the working procedure for titration 3. So we need to boil the hard water sample, then only the temporary hardness get removed. To remove the hardness causing ions, temporary hardness causing ions, we have to boil the water sample. So the hard water sample is boiled, and the boiled water sample from the beaker is going to be pipetted out to the conical flask. The same procedure has to be followed as like titration 1 and 2. Now we have removed the temporary hardness from this hard water. From the end point what we get from this titration, we can able to identify the amount of permanent hardness present in the given hard water sample. We have to add 8 ml of buffer solution and few drops of EBT indicator to the conical flask. The buffer solution is added. The indicator is also added. Now the color of the water sample becomes wine red. The boiled water sample becomes wine red color. Now the temporary hardness removed water sample is going to be titrated against standard EDTA. From this we can calculate the permanent hardness present in the water sample. So we need to add drop by drops very carefully, because already some part of hardness is removed from the water sample. So the end point we will reach very shortly. So we have to add drop wise very carefully. The color gets changed very soon. So the steel blue color indicates that the permanent hardness causing like calcium sulfate, magnesium sulfate, calcium chloride and magnesium chloride ions, the respective calcium and magnesium ions complexed with the EDTA. From the endpoint of the burette, we can calculate the strength of the hard water sample. From the strength, we can able to calculate the amount of hardness causing salts present in the given water sample. So we can see the calculation. How can we calculate the strength of the EDTA as well as the total permanence of the water sample and permanent hardness of the water sample? And if we reduce the permanent hardness from total hardness, we can get the temporary hardness. So by means of these experiment titrations, we can able to determine the total permanent and temporary hardness of the unknown hard water sample. So thanks for listening the demonstration video. We are going to see the calculation part of titration 1, titled Standardization of EDTA. In this titration 1, we are going to find out the concentration or strength of the EDTA solution. So we are going to make the titration with the standard hard water and EDTA. This is the calculation table we already seen in a chloride experiment, and this is the indicator we are used. So we have taken the standard hard water 20 ml to the conical flask. So we mentioned 20 ml, and we filled the burette solution EDTA. So we can able to measure 50 ml. Initially the mark was up to the 0 mark. So we mentioned 0. If we get the end point, see we get the end point 19.5. Similarly we get the same for 2, and we have to write the volume of EDTA as well as the same. So if you get two similar values, we can take it as concordant value. 19.5 is the concordant value of this titration. So we have to go to the calculation part. So we are taking the volume and strength of both the solutions what we have taken in the burette as well as in the pipette. So volume of standard hard water sample we taken is 20 ml because here we taken 20 ml. We have to write here 20 ml. The strength of hard water sample uh, we are provided with the standard hard water sample. So they will give the strength. Here the strength of the standard hard water is 0.01. So the volume of EDTA solution, here we have to take the concordant value and you just check it out. We have to write 19.5 ml. So we need to calculate this value to identify the strength of the EDTA solution. We have to calculate 20 into 0.01 divided by 19.5. With this we can able to calculate the strength of the EDTA. 20 into 0.01 divided by 19.5. They get the answer as 0.0102 normality. So from first titration 1, we have calculated the strength of EDTA solution from the known strength of standard hard water. By this standard hard water, we calculated the strength of EDTA solution. So hereafter the EDTA going to be called as standard EDTA because we identified the concentration of EDTA solution 0.0102 normality solution. Now we are going to see the titration 2 calculation, estimation of total hardness of water sample. So here we are taking the standard EDTA and we are going to titrate with water sample. So the water sample is going to be pipetted into the conical flask. So 20 ml of water sample is taken here and the burette was filled with the EDTA. The initial mark of the burette is 0. We measured 50 ml of EDTA in this. We get the titration 2 value as 12.5. Okay, we can take it as 12.5 is the endpoint we obtained from the laboratory experiment, 12.5. So if you get the similar value, we can take it as concordant value 12.5 ml. So we have to move to the calculation part. The volume of standard EDTA we get from the endpoint, it is 12.5 ml. And the strength of EDTA we calculated from titration 1, it is 0.0102 normality solution. So the volume of hard water sample we taken here is 20 ml. So we need to calculate this based on the volumetric principle. So V1 N1 divided by V2 N2, 12.5 into 0.0102 divided by 20. If we solve this, we can able to determine the strength of hard water sample. 12.5 into 0.0102 divided by 20. So we get 0.0063 normality. From the titration 2, we calculated the strength of hard water sample by standard EDTA. With this strength, we are going to calculate the amount of total hardness present in the water sample. We need a further calculation step here. This is the step to calculate the total hardness. We need to multiply the obtained strength of hard water from titration 2 into the equivalent rate of calcium carbonate hardness, because the calcium carbonate is hardness is taken as the reference value here. So we need to multiply with the calcium carbonate equivalent rate. Here 50 is the calcium carbonate equivalent rate, so that we can able to obtain this amount of equivalent calcium carbonate present in the given water sample. Like that we can express. If you get 500 ppm means 500 ppm equivalent of calcium carbonate hardness is present in our water sample. So we are going to measure this whole for the whole solution. We are going to multiply it with 1000. So we need to substitute the value 0.0063. Okay, it's 0. We need to calculate it 0.0063 into 50 into 1000. We get 315 ppm, which states that 315 parts per million amount of hardness equivalent to calcium carbonate is present in the given water sample. So you have to write the total hardness is calculated as 315 ppm. From titration 2, we calculated the total hardness of given water sample. Okay. Now we are going to see the titration 3 calculation. From this we are going to estimate the permanent hardness of water sample. So to identify this water sample, we need to take the boiled hard water sample. Then only we can able to remove the temporary hardness. So we have taken the boiled hard water sample titrated with EDTA. So we have taken the boiled water sample as 20 in conical flask, 20 ml in conical flask. And the standard EDTA and burette initially it was 0. And if we obtain the endpoint as 6.2 ml, we get the endpoint as 6.2 ml. We have to write the same for volume of EDTA. And if we get the same value, we can take it as concordant value. 6.2 ml is our concordant value of titration 3. And we need to write the volume of standard EDTA. We have to write 6.2 ml. And the strength of EDTA is already we calculated 0.0102 N. The volume of hard water sample we have taken 20 ml. So we need to apply the volumetric principle. 6.2 into 0.0102 divided by 20. From this we can able to calculate the strength of hard water. Okay. So 6.2 into 0.0102 divided by 20. So we obtain the value 0.0031. So this is the strength of the hard water sample. From this strength we are going to calculate the amount of permanent hardness. We need to go further calculation. We need to substitute the strength here. The strength is 0.0031. So we have to multiply it with the equivalent rate of calcium carbonate and into 1000. So 0.0031 into 50 into 1000 equal to 155 ppm. So we calculated that the permanent hardness of the given water sample is 155 ppm. So titration 3 results the estimation of permanent hardness of the given water sample. So we need to identify the three hardness: total, temporary and permanent hardness. We calculated the total hardness in titration 2 and we calculated the permanent hardness in titration 3. From that we need to identify the temporary hardness. For the total hardness we can add the permanent hardness plus temporary hardness, we can get the total hardness. To identify the total hardness we need to minus the permanent hardness from total hardness. So the total hardness we obtained is 315 ppm. So the permanent hardness we obtained is calculated is 155 ppm. So if you reduce these content from the total hardness, you can get the amount of temporary hardness. So the 160 ppm is the result of temporary hardness. So we have to write these three values in the result. From that we can able to identify the individual hardness, the total, permanent and temporary hardness. The amount of total hardness of the given sample is 315 ppm. The permanent hardness we calculated is 155 ppm. So that the temporary hardness we obtained is 160 ppm. So these are the result of this volumetric titration. From this titration we have calculated the total, permanent and temporary hardness of the given unknown water sample. So this is the calculation and working procedure of the determination of total, permanent and temporary hardness of water sample using EDTA method. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening.